It was in 1978, in a sense, the doors of this 24 Akbar Road opened for the Congress party. In the last almost 40 years, we've seen a complete degeneration of the party which has taken place. At one point of time, the epicenter of politics in the national capital, the Congress is now set to lose its plush, huge office which you're seeing around me as because of the several eviction notices which have been served to them. There's a Supreme Court order which also says that the Congress party, in fact all political parties, would have to shift base to Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg. The BJP already has set up their office there. DMK also has a new office over here in the national capital. Now, what were the advantages of 24 Akbar Road? Well, the area where it is situated, India Gate close by, it's across in the heart of Lutyens, Delhi, very, very close to all the government offices, and of course around 10 minutes drive away from the Parliament Street. This huge office over here has been a power center for a very, very long time. For at least 10 years when the UPA was in power, right over here, Sonia Gandhi would be here with Dr. Manmohan Singh. And therefore, it was a power center because other political parties looked at Congress party as the kind of party they can fall back on to forge an alliance or form an organization. And the government they did certainly in 2004. But now, all of it is set to go. Now, most of us who've covered the Congress party for years have actually been witness to the fact that it was a center where the top-notch leaders of the Congress party would emerge over here. In the lawns over here, we would see stalwarts of the Congress party like Ghulam Nabi Azad, Digvijay Singh, even A.K. Antony actually hobnobbing with the party workers, putting an arm round their shoulder and walking down these lawns. Now, all that is set to change. First of all, these leaders are no longer either politically active. Some of them are frowned upon because they are part of the G23. But when they shift to Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg, what happens is that this entire center which the Congress party occupied, that gets to be removed. In fact, right across behind me is Gujarat Bhavan. Again, that's very interesting because that's where the Prime Minister comes from. And if anyone has been a source of grief and trouble for the Congress party, it has been this man from Gujarat who rose to become the Prime Minister. The BJP has completely wiped out the footprint of the Congress party from the country. Today, the Congress is in power on its own in only two states, which is Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. It's on an alliance in DMK and in Jharkhand. But it is somewhat of a subservient relationship it enjoys as far as its ally partners go. When they're talking about an opposition front to be built up for 2024, Congress is certainly not being looked upon as a formidable or even an attractive partner like they were in 2004 because the Congress is no longer in the reckoning as far as the poll arithmetic goes. Now, what does it mean when the Congress party will have to vacate this address? Well, first of all, as I said, this is the heart of Delhi. The proximity to the power centers gave that power to the Congress party. It's easy accessibility for a party where almost no one really wants to come in. That could be one huge setback. Now, you would ask this question, BJP doesn't have an office in the heart of the Delhi in the sense it had in Ashoka Road, which has now shifted away. Yet, why? Does it really an address matter? But see, here's the thing. That's the politics of the BJP. The politics of the BJP is to shift away from what it call a kind of a Delhi-centric or what they often would call Lutyens Delhi kind of politics. Deen Dayal Upadhyay plays a very important role as far as the BJP or the NDA's political narrative goes. So that address certainly suits the BJP. The BJP is making that point that we are not going to be hobnobbing with the lobbies or political lobbies. We are what we are because we are connected with the people or the Aam Aadmi. Today, the Congress party, which is in 24 Akbar Road and right next to me is already the Seva Dal office, which is slowly being vacated. The Congress has several smaller offices dotted across many other parts of Delhi as well, but mostly in and around 24 Akbar Road. Recently, as you knew, it had to vacate one of the addresses which was with Vincent George, at one point of time a very political and a powerful advisor to the Gandhis. That was used as a research department. They had to vacate that because they had not paid their fees and also there was an eviction notice against them. Slowly, the Congress party, which is losing its footprint across the country, is also losing its footprint as far as the political powerful addresses and maps of the national capital goes. Now, the 24 Akbar Road, if you see around me, it mainly has an office which is occupied by the party president, that is Sonia Gandhi. And I remember at one point of time when she made it very clear in 1998 that she is ready to campaign for the party. That was her message, which was conveyed to Sitaram Kesri, that she is ready to take on the reins of the power. Next to her was the room of Kamal Nath, which was vacated when Rahul Gandhi came into active politics. But now even that address has gone, because Rahul Gandhi is no longer the president of the party and he is just any other MP and not even a general secretary. But there have been big names which we would see when we were over here. These names, of course, have either left the party or have been politically sidelined, disgruntled, some of them, and now, of course, into a new address. There's going to be a space crunch because the Congress will get an accommodation and an area allocated according to the number of MPs or the strength it has in Parliament. And as we've been saying, the Congress is losing its footprint in the national capital political space. In the national space also, as far as Delhi goes, it's losing its space once again. A change of address from 24 Akbar Road, an eviction of the Congress party, also is a very important telling political comment and perhaps a wake-up call for Congress that it may be completely wiped out off the political map of the country if it does not get its act together.